All right, folks, if Charlie can have his angels, Gary certainly can have his own as well. I'm talking about a potential triple team up against Scary Gary. Now, we know that in the season finale for season 6 in a couple of weeks, the synopsis state that Andi, Penelope, and Fatima confront Gary. Now, subtract Fatima and put in my baby Jasmine. And just so you know, this is not biased or, oh, well, we know how you just love you some Jasmine and oh, yeah, this has nothing to do with how you crush on Crystal Lee Naomi. This is legit, Jeremy. Yes, this is a legit theory. This will be a great way to bring Jasmine back into the series, and it would also address several questions like why didn't they bring up the Jasmine Gary marriage at the beginning of the last episode? Did Jasmine know about Penelope? Did Penelope know about Jasmine? I say no to both of those questions. Now, you could argue that Penelope was known by Jasmine because all of her rage was aimed towards Andi, but at the same time, Andi was a pawn within the game that Bellamy, her boss, Morris, her coworker, and Jasmine, Gary's wife, were plotting against her. Basically, Gary and Andi were going to be scapegoats so they can actually take, money from the divorce and run with it. So when it comes down to it, I really do feel like we should see a team up. Because remember, my first Sistas video that kind of blew up, I think it only, looking back, and I actually checked it out last week, it only got around like 14,000 views, which by my standards is quote unquote low. But at the time, because Sisters had just come out, my videos really weren't popping during the first half of season 1. It wasn't until like episode 16 onward did my sister's video really catch on. But the video I did, will Andi and Jasmine team up against Gary? That was my first video that really got people talking about my content, sisters related, that is. And when it boils down to it, I do feel like Jasmine could be brought back into the show. Penelope will probably just blow her gasket realizing, oh my goodness, you had a whole wife I didn't know about? Because unlike Andi, like we said last week, Andi can walk away from this entire situation with a penthouse, the Rolls Royce, and everything else Gary bought her because it's in her name. Penelope is stuck in this situation because she's about to have Gary's child. So there's a whole lot that comes with her entire life being shattered, the last 3 years being a lie, and this dang baby being attached to her for life. And that's results from this cheater. So I think that Jasmine could definitely add a new flavor because it would really bring back season 1 vibes, and Andi might actually be kind of a badass for once, where we can see all three of them use their skills to bring Gary down from, Andi's legal know-how and connections. And, we really don't know what Penelope is capable of, what her career is and whatnot, but one could possibly assume that she's like a, stay-at-home kind of woman. Basically the kind of woman that Gary wanted Andi to be, someone he can control, because what did Jasmine say? He likes to manipulate, isolate, and control every aspect, who you talk to, where you go. He keeps you away from your friends and family, which could definitely explain why Penelope doesn't know squat about Gary's whereabouts. I mean, business trips, yeah, but she said she overheard him on the phone once talking to an Andi, and he said that it was a coworker, like Andy versus Andi. But it really comes down to the fact that we could see some interesting sister dynamic, if you will, because we'll see these three women bring down the big bad Gary. So I think it'll be pretty interesting. And like, Andi and Jasmine put down their weapons and like form a alliance just to take down their common enemy. Because when you really think about it, Jasmine has just every right to be more. I'm sorry. I just want my baby back in the series. I have to drop the facade of being unbiased, but I think it will be, really though, I think it will be an interesting dynamic to the show. I think it would be an interesting dynamic to the show. Do you think it would be interesting if Penelope found out about Jasmine and vice versa? And, well, I don't know how exactly she would get out of jail because she did break into Andi's home and attempted to kill both her and Gary. But Whatever. Tyler Perry can write around it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that Jasmine, Penelope, and Andi should team up against Gary? How would they bring him down? No, I don't think killing him is the answer. This dude needs to suffer more. So like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.